What's up guys, Sound Alchemist here, and today we are gonna look at the burning of Prospero through the eyes of the Space Wolves. So let us dive into this lore. The Space Wolves Legion is a legion like no other. Recruited from the strong-willed tribes of the death world of Fenris, they are undisciplined, barbaric, and even uncouth in comparison to the other Legion Astartes. But in their innate savagery lies a strength that has moved mountains and burned worlds. Fenris is a harsh master, and every one of its people fight for survival from the day they are born. Those who will not grasp the handle of an axe as a newborn are hurled onto the icy seas to die for their weakness. Those who do make it through the frozen wilderness and volcanic islands of Fenris to adulthood are invariably strong of body and mind. From this barbarian people did the Primarch Leman Russ forge the heart of a truly formidable warrior, for from the hardest materials are created the sharpest of weapons, and the men of Fenris are arguably the deadliest of all. The Space Wolves left a red trail behind them as they carved their legend into the galaxy, and as the years slid past the warriors of Fenris, they became admired by their allies and feared by their foes. Some say that the ferocity of the Sons of Russ resides within their souls as well as their bodies. Certainly, they have the mark of the wolf about them. Their fangs elongate as they advance in years, their skin slowly turns brown and leathery, and their manes of hair turn to snow white of the Arctic predator. Very few ever realize that the Canis helix implanted into each inspirant upon introduction bears with it a monstrous shadow. There are those amongst the Space Wolves who become truly bestial, as much wolf as they are man, though such incidents do not appear in the annals of the wider Imperium. As the Great Crusade unfolded, the Space Wolves took the role of the Emperor's executioners. Some whispered that they were intended as the bringers of ultimate vengeance, should any legion stray from the light. The supposition became ironclad truth when the Space Wolves were sent to bring the Thousand Suns to heal, no matter the cost to their legion or to their homeworld. It was an order carried out, full with unstoppable zeal. The Blood Claws, led to war by Gygor Fellhand at the time of the invasion of Prospero, are exemplars of the Space Wolves' way. Though they started their lives in the Legion Astartes as rivals for glory, the Blood Claws warriors have come to fight as one. Little battle, cant, is needed to coordinate their efforts, for they instinctively know how their brothers will react in any given situation. In many ways, their unity is their greatest strength. Loghor Hoodhorizon was the first of their number, and they once followed him just as a wolfpack follows its alpha. Upon Prospero, however, they took Gygor's lead in the wider battle. Loghor knew that the Fellhand spoke with the authority of Leman Russ himself, and swore to follow him into the heart of the Inferno if necessary. And this brings us to the lore of Gygor Fellhand. Gygor is a trusted member of Leman Russ's own warrior elite. As a young man, his rough temper was a liability, but it never led him to a fight he could not recover from. Maturing over the long decades of battle in the service of the Space Wolves, Gygor has learned to harness the fires within his heart, letting them flare only when his legion has need of them. Now the grizzled warrior Wolfguard is as much mentor as he is champion. Gygor has recently been sent by Russ to keep vigil over the Legion's new recruits, usually impetuous youths that still cling to the glory-seeking mindset of Fenris's barbaric tribes. Having been through a similar journey himself, Gygor makes an excellent role model for these young hotheads, tempering their fire with their hard-won wisdom of 100 invasions. When the Space Wolf Legion received its orders to invade Prospero, Gygor made haste to seek audience with the Wolf King. He had fought alongside the Thousand Suns before, against the Oryx of Drogorn, and for a while they made exceptional allies. However, at a critical moment, Magnus ordered his Thousand Suns to withdraw, for he had uncovered the location of a cache of ancient artifacts on Drogorn's moon. He left in haste, reasoning the Space Wolves weren't able to carry the day alone. Though Magnus's prediction proved correct, a squadron of Orc aircraft no longer held at bay by the Thousand Sun Stormbirds killed every one of Gygor's pack, right in front of him. The grudge Gygor bears against the sorcerers of Prospero runs deep, and he relished the chance for vengeance in the name of his lost brothers. Russ agreed to Gygor's personal request to lead a spearhead deep into Prospero and hunt down the most powerful psychers in the Thousand Suns Legion. The chance for Felhand's revenge was here. Hrothbad Steelmane, the Space Wolves legionary of the 12th Company Bloodclaws. Steelmane goes to war clad in early model Legion Astartes iron armor, a comprehensive suit of battle plate designed as Mark III. This armor is built around an extensive network of fiber bundles and servo motors that amplify its wearer's already prodigious strength, while also supporting thick plates of plasteel and ceramite. Exceptionally robust, Mark III armor was never intended to replace the Mark II, but was provided by the Mechanicum of Mars as an optional heavy armor type. The Mark III power armor places considerable emphasis on frontal protection, while the rear plates are lightened to compensate. Iron armor is reckoned ideal where cover is minimal and combat is a matter of frontal assault, as which is the way with many of the Space Wolves' engagements. Accompanying the Space Wolves was the Custodian Guard. The Master of Mankind trusts the Custodians implicitly and is even accompanied by them in his private chambers. On matters of war, they speak with his voice. This made their accompaniment of Russ's invasion all the more shocking for the Thousand Suns that stood in their path. The Custodians are the right hand of the Emperor, and their presence upon Prospero was a sure sign of Magnus's damnation. The Custodian Guard train every day mentally, physically, and spiritually to attain a superhuman peak of ability. Their minds are like fortified sanctums, resistant to all but the most baleful of psychic influence. Each has the raw strength of a dozen mortal men, and can strike with blurring spleen. If these golden heroes can be said to have a flaw, it is that their propensity to fight as individuals, each of them a champion as they are, rather than a part of a wider military structure. Ultimately, this matters little. Such is the skill with their guardian spears on sentinel blades that few foes have ever seen a Custodian Guard fight and live to tell about it. The Sisters of Silence. They are an all-female order of warriors utterly devoted to the Emperor's cause. Of all the servants of the Imperium, only they and the Custodian Guard are permitted to walk freely in the Emperor's vaults. Those aware of their existence treat them with a mixture of fear, respect, and awe. The stories that surround the sisterhood are sinister indeed, and not without cause. They are also known as Null Maidens. The Sisters of Silence are witch hunters supreme. Each is a psychically untouchable, with no presence at all in the mirror dimension of the Imperium. To normal humans, these warrior women are unsettling, even disturbing. To psychers, they are yawning voids that drain psychic power as a black hole devours light. The Sisters' immunity to the horrors of the psychic assault is a consequence of the pariah gene that they carry within them. This makes them the nemesis of even the mightiest warlocks. When Russ led the invasion of Prospero, a detachment of Sisters of Silence accompanied him to the battlefield. Equipped with weapons devised to entrap and destroy the Psyker, the Sisters of Silence were a dire threat for the Cabal warriors of the Thousand Suns. And with that sets up the lore for the actual battle of the burning of Prospero. So stay subscribed, because the battle will be an epic one indeed. Let me know what was your favorite part about this lore. Was it the Adeptus Custodes, the Sisters of Silence, or the ferocious Space Wolves? As always guys, don't forget, we do have a Patreon page, so head on over there where you guys can pledge $1 and be rewarded with extra videos and more 40K content. As always guys, you know me as the Sound Alchemist, part of One Mind Syndicate, and I am signing out.